This is the much anticipated BMW 1 Series that was first introduced in 2004 in Europe as a hatchback, and it has been a big success on that continent. For 2008, BMW has added a coupe and a convertible to the lineup, and with that introduction, they finally made their way across to North America. BMW has had small sporty cars in the past, most notably the 2002, which to this day has a huge cult following. On the other hand, BMW's last attempt at a compact car was a bit of a dud. The 318 Ti looked like a stubby car with a small engine, basic interior, and it wasn't that inspiring to drive. So BMW is back in the compact game, and they've decided not to make the same mistakes they did with the 318 Ti and come up with a small car that would do the 2002 proud. Just the convertible and the coupe are for sale now in North America, and both come with two very potent engines. This car, by the way, is the 128. After you spend some time with the 1 Series, the styling really grows on you to the point where you think it's a winner. At first, the high roofline looks a bit out of place on a short car, but after a while, especially from the rear angles, this is a handsome machine. The front is instantly recognizable as a BMW. Now, we don't like the gap over the headlights. It gives the impression of poor fit. The 128 gets 17-inch wheels and the more powerful 135 gets 18-inch wheels. The trunk is surprisingly roomy. The finish is as good as any other BMW, and there's a ski pass-through and the rear seats split and fold. The interior would be a familiar space, albeit smaller space for most current BMW owners. The same attention to detail, the same materials, the same placement of controls as other models. There's no unnecessary clutter on the dash. This is a back-to-basics car, but at the same time, the level of luxury one would expect from a BMW. What is the biggest surprise about the 1 Series is that it's roomy in here. Sure, it's not as wide as, say, a 3 Series, but the legroom and the headroom and the overall feel of the cabin, it's remarkable considering it's such a small package. It's very comfortable. All the gauges and everything are close at hand. There's 3 cup holders, 2 in the center here, and 1 that you can take out and put in. Now, that's a pretty neat idea. Under the armrest, there's a pouch here for your iPod. There's a USB port and an auxiliary jack. All good stuff. The back seat is also surprisingly roomy, given that this is a small coupe. There's enough room for adults under 6 feet, but only for short trips. This really is a car for a single person, a couple, or as a second vehicle. I've already mentioned the 318 Ti that BMW brought in the 90s. It was underpowered and a very basic car, and they seem to have learned from that mistake. They've done entirely the opposite. The same 3-liter inline 6-cylinder found in many other BMW products powers this 128 we have here, and this is a small car. With 230 horsepower and a 6-speed manual transmission, this 128 will make it to 100 kilometers an hour in just 6.4 seconds. Now, those of you who watch driving television regularly know that one of my favorite engines of the last couple of years is the same 3-liter engine that's in this car, but with 2 turbos attached. They use that in the 335 and 535, and I just love driving it. So just think about that. A small car like this with 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. Apparently, it's faster than the outgoing M3, and I can believe it. Now, I wish we had that car here today. What is most attractive about BMW cars is their balance on the road and the rear-wheel drive layout. There is no other compact premium car on the market in this configuration. So if you really want the ability to dance this compact car like this in the corners and use the rear wheels to push you out of a corner, the 1 Series is as good as it gets. Both the 6-speed manual and 6-speed automatic have near perfect 50-50 weight distribution. The 1 Series feels just like any larger BMW. It has the same uncanny ability to soak up bumps with sophistication, but still provides excellent feedback to the driver. It has a solid feel that makes the driver absolutely forget about the small dimensions. It feels substantial. The chunky steering wheel, slick transmission, and more than willing engine are great partners in fun. This car gives everything you expect from a BMW in a smaller, more fun-to-drive package. Here's the rub with the 1 Series. It ain't cheap. It starts at $33,900 for this base 128. If you want the faster 135, that's $41,700. And when you start adding on options, it gets quite expensive to the point where you might just want to spend a little bit more and get a 3 Series. So what do? The thing is about this 1 Series, it is very well done. It's roomy on the inside. It is a riot to drive, and it feels like a real BMW, even the base model. So will North Americans embrace its cute looks and pony up the money to get one? I bet yes.
For complete specs, go to our website at drivingtelevision.com.